Hi, I'm Jamie Costello back with you again to talk about one of the biggest projects we have seen. I'm standing right here at the entrance to the Sparrows Point shipping channel. This is where large vessels enter to serve Trade Point's marine terminal. It is also where large container vessels will come to serve the new Sparrows Point container terminal. Now imagine large cranes just brushing up against the sky over there. And to get these large ships into port, there is a dredging plan to deepen and widen the channel. There is a tried and proven process to do this safely. Sparrows Point Container Terminal is following steps to bring some of the world's biggest ships to Trade Point Atlantic. But for them to power the Patapsco, the Sparrows Point shipping channel has to be widened and deepened to 50 feet. Without dredging, it would be like shoving a Chevy Suburban into a spot meant for a Mini Cooper. Won't work. So we have to expand the parking lot and deepen the channel. And what they're planning to scoop out from the bottom of the Sparrows Point channel has been tested more than our patience of being a Ravens fan. A recent independent sediment testing program determined that the material to be dredged at the container terminal is considered suitable for a combination of on-site and off-site placement. That's after dividing the channel into many units and collecting sediment cores at 97 locations to the proposed depth of the dredging. And an independent study late last year determined some of the materials also safe for ocean placement. So, after a year of testing, we now know the dredged material would go to a combination of 4 different locations to balance it out: at Norfolk Ocean Disposal Site, the Coal Pier Channel, and the High Head Industrial Basin at Sparrows Point, or at MPA's Masonville or Cox Creek Dredge Material Containment Facility. Peggy Derrick from EA Engineering joins us right now, and Peggy is the genius when it comes to dredging and all. Peggy, can you just lay out the process so that we know what the material is and how it's being managed?
Sure. We developed sampling and analysis plans that specifically look at the requirements for placement upland, off-site, and on-site. Those plans were approved and reviewed and approved by the federal and state regulators before we started the program. And they designated those dredging units that we looked at, where we sampled, what was tested, and how we were going to evaluate that information.
Should this put us at ease for future dredging?
Absolutely. By knowing the physical and chemical properties of the material in each one of those dredging units, it allows us to determine the safest way to dredge that material and the most appropriate, feasible, and environmentally the best way to manage it after it's removed from the river bottom.
Peggy, what about the life below us? Will there be a disturbance underwater?
Yes, dredging does create disturbance underwater. Benthic organisms, which are small and mobile organisms that actually live in the sediments, they will be removed when dredging removes the material. Fish that live in the water column, they're mobile, so they'll swim away and they'll avoid areas of underwater disturbance. Sediments that are resuspended into the water column during dredging, and that's also known as turbidity, is expected to be localized and will be minimized and controlled through use of best management practices that are commonly used for any in-water construction, and will also be minimized through the use of specialized dredging equipment where needed.
What does this project mean to you and your company, though?
This is a great project. It's a great example of an area that's not being used. Contaminants are going to be removed. It's going to bring economic opportunities, and it's going to leave this area much better than it is now.
So, there's a plan and a proven process in place for this stuff. The T in Trade Point should stand for transparent. Go to spctmd.com for more information. Next week, we're going to talk about traffic, noise, air quality, recreational boating, and I'll tell you a little secret about these cranes you don't want to miss. As Baltimore's port will become the 3rd largest on the East Coast with this expansion project. In Sparrows Point, I'm Jamie Costello.